Well then, we'd better see this creature for ourselves, I think.
So they came to see it. The captain and a couple of soldiers, all clustered round a sty at the back of the cottage. And folk were awake and curious by this time, so they attracted a lot of staring. Digby sent for a cart, so they could take the beast up to the castle. He brought us back too, and made us wait again. He wasn't finished with us yet, he said. Eventually they took us down some winding steps, right down deep, till he could feel the cold of the earth coming in through the walls. To a round chamber with a dirt floor. A dungeon. The only light came from a fire in an iron basket. 3 or 4 men stood round the fire. They looked up when we came in, and their faces seemed to float in the dark.
Clay? Come forward. I need to ask you more.
I've told you all I know.
Did you communicate with the creature?
Communicate?
Was there comprehension, do you think, in some unguarded moment? Was there, even if only fleetingly, any scrap of understanding between you at any point?
We told you, sir, it just made sounds. The sounds of a beast.
I don't mean sounds. Some other way, communication by other means.
I didn't notice.
Well, I wonder. It came willingly to your nets, you said.
That's how it seemed, yes.
Why was that?
I don't know.
Well, we've examined the beast now. Its very ugliness suggests it's not human, at least not in any significant way. It is repulsive, but somehow it seemed to understand what was going on. Is that what you found?
It knew something, I suppose, yes.
Yes, but what? What does it know? When we put questions to it, it wouldn't answer.
It's a beast, my lord. It can't answer.
Unless it chose not to answer. That is possible.
Why do you have to know? It comes out of the sea. It doesn't belong here. But wherever it's from and whatever it thinks, it doesn't belong. So what's it matter if it understands?
Of course it does.
Or what you do with it.
Because, don't you see? If it is human in some remote way, if it has the qualities and attributes of a man, even a simple man, well then we simply can't kill it.
Why not?
Because we don't know what it knows. If it turns out to be from a foreign power, say.
What?
Washed overboard somewhere, or if it's been studying the fortifications along the coast.
It hasn't.
You cannot know that. I am responsible to the master of this castle for its safety and the safety of all the land along this coast, and the master is responsible to the king himself. The coast here is difficult. It's difficult. Any coast is. All along here we're up to attack from the sea, so I have to do what is right. I have to be very sure.
I see.
What we do with the beast depends on what it is. So, of course we have to know.
But if it doesn't answer questions...
Then we have to make our questions absolutely clear. We have to make them irresistible. It must answer if it has the capability.
You've had it chained.
We can't take risks with something like this. We prepare for everything. We try every possible side turning. And you can tell us nothing else?
No, sir.
All right, you can go now.
Thank you, my lord.
As we left, I caught sight of it in the firelight, crouched on the ground, clawing at the dirt. That's how it moved on land, by dragging itself along like a wounded thing. I only saw it for a moment, in the flicker from the fire. Its gaze was fixed on the fire, and I'd swear it knew what was to come. Sir, it can't talk.
I said you can go now.
Fire won't help you.
Go. Get them out of here.
It wasn't pain. It was the fear of pain. It entered my head. I couldn't get clear of it. You saw it when they brought it in.
Yes.
What they meant to do.
How would I know what they...
You saw the chains. You knew it was chained.
They have to do that,
And it
Clay.
saw the fire for itself. It knew what they were planning.
That doesn't
And
mean...
you heard the sound it made before they shut the door on us.
What's it matter? Oh, you've stirred everything up, Clay, like you always do. You bring trouble, and people won't thank you for it.
Well, so do what's simple. Is that what you think? Kill the thing or cast it back in the sea?
Oh, the sea! Should have kept it in the first place. That's what I hate about this place. The sea. The sea, you know. Every endless struggle we always have with it. Makes us think so small. I would not live here, Clay. I tell you, I would not choose to live here.
But you must.
Yes. But it's pity keeps me here, that's all. You went to the castle. It was the right thing to do, the only thing. Now forget about it.
But I couldn't forget. Once I knew what they were doing, that was it. I knew. I went back to the castle to see what I could learn. Waited outside the gates. Nothing. Hardly any movement in or out. And I kept hearing that sound. I knew it was inside my head, but it sounded as if it was drifting up from under the earth. And then, one night, I saw a cart driven out of the castle gates.
Who's there?
It's me, Father. Clay.
Clay? What do you want? You can't come in here. You know that. Not today.
Can I not worship, Father? Church is for all the village, isn't it? Every day.
And have you come to worship? How did you know about this thing?
Because I found it in the first place. We took it to the castle because we thought they'd know.
We?
Rowena came with me.
Rowena?
Yes, I told her about it.
Well, I thought you'd given up calling there.
I went to ask Jonas what I should do.
Oh, good heavens, man. You thought he'd tell you, did you?
I didn't know how bad he was.
Then you should have done. After what you did that night.
You talk as if you know what I did, Father.
I visited them. I went to help Rowena.
She never knew. Not the whole story, no one did. But you all think you know enough to cast a stone.
What was it then? What happened?
Where have they stowed the beast?
In the bell tower.
The bell tower? Is that safe?
They've chained it to the wall. It can't get out that way. Though I doubt if it will be capable of trying from the look of it. There's a guard about the place somewhere.
Why did they bring it here?
Because they got nowhere with it in their dungeon. Clay, I shouldn't be talking to you about this.
And you can get somewhere with it, can you?
Well, they think so. They mean to place the creature before the holy objects, the altar, the painting of our Lord on the screen, the chalice and the cross.
Why?
To see how it reacts. If it knows anything of God. If it's more than merely beast, then it will respond to those holy objects. And we will be able to tell.
Will we?
I don't know. The captain believes so. I have seen bishops who barely register a twitch when they're set before the altar. But perhaps bishops are different. Come and see.
And when they've got their answer, what then?
Oh, they haven't thought about that. They're hoping for divine intervention. They're hoping they won't have to decide anything themselves. It's in here.
Is it safe? I mean...
Perfectly. You'll see.
The room was bare and almost empty. The bell ropes hung down out of the dark. They'd been looped together beyond reach. There was a pile of old black cloth on the floor, and that's where the beast lay. Chains fixed it to a ring in the wall. It was turned away, not moving. Nothing moved except the ropes swinging in the air above it.
Whatever it is, this is not its element. Dry stone and closed in.
No. I never meant to bring any creature to this state.
You didn't?
I began it, yes. Look at it. He's barely living.
I wouldn't get too close.
Oh, I'm in no danger, Father, not from this. I saw its eyes move to catch where the sound was coming from. Oh. Oh, I am sorry for this. And it looked at me. Directly at me. That night, I dreamt of Jesus in the storm. The same Jesus on the screen above the altar. He's asleep in the boat with his head on a red pillow. And the disciples are awake and afraid, and there's black clouds swirling above them. A little tub of a boat it is, like a walnut shell. It wouldn't last a real storm. In the dream, the disciples turned into fish. Great, gaping fish, all pressed together and mouthing to the storm clouds. They were fish, just plain fish, but I knew they were terrified. And Jesus wasn't Jesus anymore. He was old Jonas. He was still asleep, and I tried to wake him. I hit the side of the boat with my fist to wake him. What? What is it? Rowena?
What happened, Clay?
When?
At the church. You went up to the church. You didn't say what you'd found there.
Because you didn't want to know.
Well, the whole village has heard about it. And half of them want to see it for themselves.
Yes, to go up at a monster. Something to scare themselves with or laugh at because it's ugly and dangerous.
Is it dangerous?
It's chained up. Half the life's been beaten out of it. Its flesh is dry and cracked. Why do you want to know all of a sudden?
I don't know. I was awake early, that's all. And thinking.
Thinking?
Yes. Sitting with Father, looking out of the window. And I got him some milk to drink. I think he was thirsty because he drank it down so quickly. And he looked at me while he was drinking. With his face still in the cup. And that kind of look. Like you sometimes see on a calf when you hold a pail for its feed. The way its eye rolls.
I know.
He was looking at me. He knew it was me. Poor thing.
In the afternoon, we went to the tower together to take water to the beast. It was curled up on the floor, staring at the light from the sea on the church wall. We put water in a shallow bowl and set it down.
It's not moving.
Wait. After a moment, it hooked the bowl with a limb, pulled it closer. It lowered its head to the water. A trail of damp trickled slowly over its flesh, like first rain in a dry riverbed.
It's hardly drinking at all, though.
No. It's not enough, a trickle like this. I think maybe it's not just thirsty, it's missing the sea.
Yes. Then should we?
What?
Or someone, I mean... take it back.
To the sea?
Well, just to cover its hide with water, to revive it.
They won't let us do that, Rowena.
You could talk to Father Anthony.
I thought Rowena wanted the creature dead.
She did. Now she sees differently.